Chris Stuckmann made a movie. Welcome back to Boltage Bros, where two brothers talk about movies. Today, I will be talking about Shelby Oaks, the film that Chris Stuckmann, a YouTuber, directed and released in theaters. Now, if you don't know who Chris Stuckmann is, he's been on YouTube since 2009. I've been watching him for about 9 years or so. He was one of the original YouTubers that I watched in high school. Him, Jeremy Johns, the huge. But this guy, he's different. Chris Stuckmann, he actually jumped out of YouTube and made a movie. And I'll be really honest with you guys, I didn't think he could do it. Every time he said, I'm going to make a movie, guys, I'm going to do it, I did not believe him. And I was wrong. He did it. He launched a Kickstarter and he got one of the largest Kickstarters of all time and got this movie on screen. And wow, I didn't believe, but you did it. Good job. And that's probably the most amazing thing about this movie is that it was made by a YouTuber. It's amazing to watch somebody fulfill their dream. And I'm not much of a horror guy, but I just had to see this movie because I wanted to see what Chris Stuckmann made. The main plot of Shelby Oaks is about Mia, who is looking for her lost sister after she went missing, looking for paranormal activity on her YouTube channel. And there are some really, really good things in this movie. First of all, I have to say the cinematography is actually amazing. There's not very many times where I'm watching a movie and then all of a sudden a shot comes on and I'm like, whoa, that looks so beautiful. But not only that, it actually immerses me more into what I'm watching. There's just a couple of shots that look really beautiful. And that's what I would say is the strongest part of this movie. You can tell that Chris knows what he's doing with the camera, and you can tell that he's pushing his actors to deliver what he wants from them. So it looks beautiful. It's really well done. It's just lacking in the writing aspect of it. And I'm not the first one to say this, and I heard this before I went into the movie, and I have to say that I agree. The writing is not as good as it could be. But it's not that huge of a deal because there isn't a lot of talking throughout the movie. Most of what's interesting about the movie is the tension, and there's not a lot of talking during those scenes. It's just build up, slow camera movements, looking left, scary things. And if there was talking in these moments, it would ruin the moment, so it's just you staring at the screen, waiting for something scary to happen lots of the time. And those moments have a lot of tension in them. I honestly felt myself tense up and want to leave out of the theater. But there is a problem as well with the way that the tension is built up. And that problem is a lot of the tension comes because the character is stupid. Unfortunately, the main character in this movie goes out to these places where she's investigating where her sister is lost and doesn't bring a weapon, doesn't bring a friend. So there's tension because she didn't think it through. So you're just thinking, oh no, why would she do that? So dumb. Tension. But the tension isn't worth it because she just didn't plan ahead. There can be much more of a payoff in horror movies when somebody tries their best, when somebody uses the resources around them, and then when that fails, it's devastating and more scary. But in this one, it's just the stupid choices of the character that lead to the tension. The ending also does fall flat a little bit for me. It's kind of a twist ending, and I even chuckled, and I thought that I was satisfied. I was like, oh, nice, good ending. But then, just a couple minutes later, after thinking it through, I said, wait a second, was that satisfying? Wait, wasn't this that, and wasn't that this? How does that work? And sometimes that can be good when you have questions that are left unanswered, but this movie felt like it was answering the questions at the end, but it doesn't make sense when you think about it more and more. So yes, the script was lacking, and yes, it fell a little bit flat, but to be honest, I had a good time at the movie theater. And it was probably because I don't really watch a lot of horror movies, so that was kind of fun. And I'm a fan of Chris Stuckmann, so it was just really cool to see what he built. So overall, even though the movie wasn't up to par per se, I did enjoy going to the movie theaters. And I think that's the mindset I need to go into other movies with. I need to look up who is this director, what are they going for, what do they like. You know, there's a few directors where you kind of know who they are and it makes the movie a little bit better or worse, depending. So I think it's really great when you connect a face to the art. And I can more easily do that now that I've had this experience with other movies that I watch. I also had fun in the movie theater because I was wondering who would actually go to this movie, because I went because I knew who Chris Stuckmann was, and I thought maybe there would be someone else in the theater who was also doing the same thing. So when I sat down, I turned to the person next to me and I said, "Are you a Stuckmann fan?" And he's like, "What's that?" So it was kind of embarrassing, but it was kind of fun to see that, hey, this movie is actually a real movie that's reaching audiences and not just his audience on YouTube. Cool. But you know who hasn't expanded their audience from YouTube yet? The Boltage Bros. This has been Boltage Bros. My name is Jerome. I love movies. I love talking about movies. And I also run a podcast with my brother, and we talk about movies on this channel. So make sure to subscribe and click one of these videos if you're interested in more of our reviews. I've got a bolt.